one of the complaints that even as we were preparing this, that we had from a small sample of people that we picked, is that there are very few women who are wife material. Do you agree with that?
I wouldn't totally agree with that. And like Akuka has said, gender roles that were so explicit in the beginning have changed. Women have become so empowered. Women have gone back to school. You know, they are doing very well. So the society looks at this empowered woman and thinks this is not wife material. It's not that they cannot be wife material. It's because of changed perceptions. That's what I would think.
And then what would be, maybe I'll ask Moffat for that, what in your thinking as a male species, as we are referred to, is wife material?
Yeah, that's a very interesting question, because it all depends on how somebody defines a wife material. And you know, it is very unfortunate because many times we use our own lenses to define a person. And sometimes we are looking at a woman who will come and be like us, who will come and adjust to our worldview, who will come and think the way we do. And you know, that is a very big mistake, because I think that the best thing that a man ought to do is, number one, I would want to say that a lot of men have not discovered the need that they want to fulfill by having a woman. They don't know the need. And therefore...
In other words, you don't even know what she's coming to.
Yes. And when I'm conducting premarital classes, I ask you know, my clients, what need do you seek to fulfill by having this woman? And you realize many men will just begin to stagger. They do not have an answer to that. Now, the moment you do not discover the need that you have for a woman, you will keep saying and whining and complaining that there are no wife materials.
But now, what needs are there apart from the obvious? I mean, what other needs are there? I know there's companionship.
Yes.
There's procreation.
Yes.
What other needs are we talking about?
You know, this is very profound. You know, the whole essence of marriage is to make the other partner become a better version of himself or herself. Now, part of the needs that you need to discover as a man is the vacuum that you have that needs to be filled by this woman. Where are you struggling? What kind of a support would you want? It could be emotional, it could be in different aspects. But you realize that many men around there, outside there, they actually do not even know what they are missing. You know, the personal vacuum that they are having that can only be filled by that woman. And we keep talking about companionship, we talk about sex, we talk about many other things. And you realize that that is a very insignificant ingredient of what makes a marriage. The most important thing is for us to discover what is it that we need them to come to do to us so that we can become better versions of who we are. Because marriage is about transition.
Transition. Yes. Akuka, is that uniquely a man's need, or is it both species, let me not call them species, but both sexes that come together to fulfill each other's needs? Because I've also had a narrative that the only way to come and have a lasting relationship is for you, first of all, to come complete. The other person cannot complete you.
It's generally understood that girls, when they are born, they grow up with a checklist from when they're very young. They have a notion in their mind
of Prince Charming,
yes,
who's going to come on a horse.
Yes. So in a sense, they are aware much earlier, which is not the same as boys.
Is that down to socializing, or is it just an ingredient?
It's the way society has socialized girls to be domestic, to be able to look at finer things that make relationships. And so women are more relational, because of the way they've been cultured. From a much earlier age, men are people of the field, you know. Men are generally wired to do tasks alone, figure out stuff, you know, come back with results. So a time comes when a man needs to become relational. And unfortunately, I think men start much later to figure out what, like my brother has said, what do I need to settle? What do I need to become an improved version of myself? And sometimes they don't do it at all, up to the time they are getting into the relationship. So yes, from my experience, and my interaction with men my age, younger and older, I can conclude safely that it is more of a man's problem, self-awareness, and especially in relation to what a marriage requires, what a lifetime with a partner who is fundamentally different from the way I am requires. So men are staggering a bit. They are stumbling onto these things, and hence what I do, most of my work is revolves around creating that awareness. It is one thing to say men do not have it. It's another to actually help